and I need to make sure that everything is working that the way it should. So that's on me. Sorry about that. Ozzy, it's good to see you as well. Hold on, let me fix my camera because I shut my laptop down earlier, so I got to put some things back to the way they were. All right, we can get back to it. Let me say this officially. Yo, peoples! Qushu 92 here. Welcome back to more One Piece. The Straw Hats that were there with Colin, essentially got one shot and knocked off of the little mini spar that Colin was riding by Gunko. And not only that, but Principal Tusk has been pretty much not only subdued by Killingham, I believe, but Saul has also been subdued by Saint Somers. And Somers reveals that, well, we would have these giants under heel if it wasn't for King Harold, who suddenly changed his mind. Also, we are going on break after this chapter, so let's see what Oda gives to us today to make us go on break. Chapter 1147, What We're Afraid Of. And ooh, it's Raizo! Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 32, thanked by Raizo, Daimyo of Udon. Raizo is the Daimyo of Udon? Yo! Today's anime was amazing. Has anyone seen it? I haven't seen it yet. I gotta react to it after I'm done reacting to basically everything here today. I'm looking forward to reacting to today's episode of One Piece, but I'll get to it when I get to it. Greetings, fellow peoples, and where's the audio? That was, like I said, it was on me. But yeah, Yamato is chilling, eating some onigiri with Raizo, and Tama is hugging him. We also have, and you can notice in the back, we see that Ulti and Page 1 are talking to each other, while Ulti is holding the helmet of Who's Who, meaning your boy is out there without a helmet on. Either he's been completely subdued and he's just missing his helmet, or he's gone. But let's get back. Ooh, we get Saul, we get Saul from before he was fighting Somers. And we get Saul, who goes back in time. This is a flashback because he goes, "Stay hidden, Robin and Chopper. I've seen him before. He's a holy knight."
Huh?
"They're immortal. You can't beat them. Hide and wait for your chance to save the kids." Saul knows they're immortal. So this just flat out confirms that every single one of the holy knights is basically immortal like the rest of the Gorosei. "They're immortal. You can't beat them. Hide and wait for your chance to save the kids." And then Somers goes, "I guess that means there were 2 survivors of Ohara. The Navy sure did a sloppy job." And while that's happening, there's a little rustle in Saul's hair. Mind you, Robin and Chopper are both in there. And Somers almost notices as he goes, "Huh?" And then we cut back to Gunko, who has completely subdued all the rest of the Straw Hats and has them bound up. "Huh? Gunko, you caught the Straw Hat crew then? You gonna take them with us?" And then Gunko doesn't say anything. And then Killingham chimes in. "Don't be stupid, Somers. Are you trying to make Straw Hat Luffy furious? Let's just fulfill the mission and go home." And then Nami is screaming out, "Yo, CD, it's good to see you as well."
Poor Saul's been tormented and we let Colin get kidnapped. How could you let this happen, Jinbei?
"Stop shouting. I'm trying to come up with a plan. What are these powers, anyway?" And then Usopp goes, "That chick is scary. I thought I was going to die." And then Brook going, "I feel like there's something about that woman, however. Maybe it's just my imagination." And Gunko points her sword at Brook. "Woo! Ah! It's her!" And that's Usopp screaming, "The zombie girl!" And then Gunko steps on Brook's face and goes, "Ugh! Brook!"
Listen up, you.
Huh?
I want you to write songs for me for the rest of your life. You're going to be my slave.
She knows who Brooke is. So, well, that just throws my whole theory out the window of like maybe Gunko's gonna feel some type of way because she loves listening to Brooke's songs. But since she also sees herself as a god, Brooke is now belongs to her apparently.
I want you to write songs for me for the rest of your life. You're going to be my slave.
Huh? And then Nami goes,
What? Does she know about Brooke's music?
a celestial dragon who's a fan of Soul King? Sounds like a nightmare of a fan. This is literally a page ripped out of Misery. Ask Kathy Bates. Gunko looks like the type of individual that'll take a sledgehammer to your legs.
Knock it off, Gunko. I don't want to fight with one of the 4 emperors either. Let's just do our job and go.
And then Brooke goes, I'm quite sorry, young lady, but from the day that Captain Straw Hat Luffy bestowed me my second life, I have been dedicated to no one but him.
What if I said I would kill you?
I would rather die than live without honor. Ooh! Oh, Brooke, you better talk to this chick. You better talk to this chick. This is on par with Brooke saying who in their right mind would ever be looking forward to dying. Woo! Woo! Okay, Brooke! We see you, Brooke! We see you, Brooke! I would rather die than live without honor. Look out, Brooke! And then Gunko uses her powers to kick away Brooke. Ah! And then Gunko is, I guess, clutching her shirt all of a sudden. She's clutching her jacket all of a sudden. And then she's disgusted by the fact that Brooke doesn't want to obey her. And she goes over and starts beating up on Brooke. Brooke! And then we get St. Somers again.
Are we good now, Killingham?
Yeah, go ahead.
Shh. Check. Can you hear me, Elbaf? Come in, warriors of Elbaf.
And Somers is being broadcast all over the nation.
Who's that? What message is this?
I'm sure you're all busy scrambling to deal with the strange events unfolding around you. That was our doing. I am a dagger sent straight from sacred Marijwa. I am Somers of the Holy Knights.
Then we cut to Craftsman Village, Southeast Sunworld.
Marijwa, so he's from the world government. Why would they do this?
Captains, they're sending this message all over Elbaf.
As I'm sure.
And then Dory and Bragi chime in.
So they've revealed who they are.
Then we cut to Huntsman Village, northwest of Elbaf.
The children are safe.
As I'm sure you've realized all over Elbaf,
I want to make sure that his voice is
as annoying as possible. I want to make sure that you hate St. Somers entirely too much. So this is gonna be the voice I use for it.
I'm sorry. I'm getting way too into this.
As I'm sure you've realized all over Elbaf, we've taken 10 of your children as hostages. On top of that, we have reduced an orange-bearded man to a bloody mess for the crime of pursuing us from the school in an attempt to free the children.
Another thing that Somers is doing is that he can make, I guess, creatures out of his vines, his thorns as well, because he's riding on top of it like it's some sort of snake creature. And then Anji chimes in going, because Anji was defeated by Killingham, she's right there.
Mr. Soul!
Qushu, stop or we'll hate you too. You won't. You won't.
Mr. Soul?
In other words, while you, blithely assumed that someone else was going to do the rescuing for you, the children have continued to march toward the goal.
Soul, no!
And Killingham chimes in going,
The game's only getting started. It's just a shame we can't use video. Can you name all the children who marched out of here? Of course. Then let's let their parents know that it's time for the twerps to wake from the dream.
And then the children start to wake up.
Hey! How come we're just marching along this? Marching along like this?
Where are we going?
I don't know, but we're already far away. That's not true. This is branch 8. We're on the way back. Yeah, but we can't control our feet. Why can't we go home then?
I want to see Mommy. I want to see Daddy.
And then it cuts to Colin, who's there in front of everyone. Apparently, Gunko has already added him to the children who are walking. Mind you, the kids are awake, but that doesn't keep them from moving because Gunko's powers still force their lower body to continue moving forward.
We're kidnapped. It means we can't see them.
What?
And all the kids scream out, what?
Stop whining. I'm here. And unlike your crybaby weaklings, I'm a warrior.
And that immediately gets put to the test because all of those sleeptids that those kids dreamed up because of Killingham, they all start to peer over branch 8. And all the kids scream out,
A monster! A ghost! Save us, Colin!
and then all Colin can do is just screaming out loud.
It sounds like they took our soul. Turn us around. We need to go save the kids. But, captains, there's a hole in the bilge, and we've got broken oars. Darn it, what kind of freakish beast is that? I don't know. It's some sort of woman monster. Looks like my wife. Watch out, she's gonna beat you over the head. That other one looks like my wife. Huh? Wait, these monsters all came from the children's worst worst fears, right? And your wife is Bent's mom? That's right. So Bent was asked to imagine what he was most afraid of, and the answer was... Mommy! Wait, what? That's our worst fear too!
And it shows that some of the wives of these giants have started to basically assault the Great Eric. Like, we got one wife sleep-tid monster who's on top of the ship, and she's, you know, really, and she's gigantic. In terms of size to all the rest of these giants, these sleep-tids are even bigger than Loki. And they start wrecking shop.
Gah! We can't fight! Our morale is getting hammered!
And even Dorian Broggy can't even mentally deal with, like, seeing other people's wives literally destroying their ship.
I'm sorry for always going out drinking, dear. I'm sorry for forgetting to take out the trash, dear. I'm sorry for eating the honey cake that was for the guests. Captains, they're ripping off the island clouds. We're gonna fall!
And then the Great Eric plummets, while St. Somers continues to watch on.
The giant pirate ship has crashed. So much for their bluster. Some of those sleep-tids were real beasts. The kids' chances of rescue are dwindling by the minute. Now, Beard Hill Jarl, warrior of legend, it's time for us to talk. You mean Dorian Broggy are down? With no king on the throne, you're the boss around here.
Then we get back to Ripley, who sees the Great Eric. She was running, she had Frankie, along with Lilith and Bonnie. They managed to get to the Great Eric, so it's actually not that far from them. Pardon me. It's actually not that far from them.
You must be joking. The giant pirate's far just crashed. I hope they're all right. Let's hurry.
Our goal here is quite simple. To make you giants our slaves in battle.
Bruh didn't even sugarcoat it. So, slaves! Everyone who is not a celestial dragon is a slave, a plaything, a tool, or trash. These giants are just slaves.
Our goal here is quite simple. To make you giants our slaves in battle. The next step is to find out how effective these kids will be as hostages. I bet you're all wondering whose kids our 10 hostages are, huh?
And then it shows in one panel the map of Branch 8 as it also shows one of the rainbow roads basically being let off at the end of it. So we have at the library and school, we have Principal Tusk and Anji, who's been subdued because of Killingham, who's at the school. Then we have Ripley and Frankie, who have made it to the giant pirates with Dory Broggy and Scopper Gavin, because he's on that ship too, but we have yet to actually see him. We have yet to actually see him just yet. There's yet to be a panel that actually focuses on him quite yet. Then we have the Western Village, which is where Jarl is, and that's where the kids are heading. We have Somers and Gunko, along with Brooke, Usopp, Nami, Jinbei, with Saul having been subdued by Somers, with Robin and Chopper hiding in his hair. And we have the 10 children who are steadily making their way towards the Western Village in the hopes of getting them to the ship so they can take these kids hostage and get them out of Elbaf.
I bet you're all wondering whose kids our 10 hostages are, huh?
And then Anji goes,
These are the names of the children who were kidnapped. First up, Ylva. Ah!
Ylva! My granddaughter's granddaughter.
Chief Jarl! Next, Scoldy. Is there anything we can do for ourselves?
Olaf, it's a dream. It's all a dream.
That's my grandson, Captain.
and that's Oimo. No, that's Kashi. That's Kashi. Olaf is Kashi's grandson.
Karin. I always have the worst luck. Mog.
I'm supposed to be strong, but I can't stop.
Ronja. Don't worry, it'll all work out.
Wow, this is the only child that doesn't have a hint of despair. Don't worry, it'll all work out. This is the only child that isn't scared about this. She's smiling. She's got like 2 buck teeth, and she's just going,
Don't worry, it'll all work out.
okay. And while that's going on, all these giants are hearing their children. While we also have a giant octopus sleep to continue with the giants as well.
Why did it have to be my child? Branch 8, right? I'm on my way.
Bent. Mama's gonna yell at me.
Johanna, at least you have parents.
Interesting that she says, at least you have parents, and that's emboldened here. Who are you, Johanna? Maybe I'm overthinking it. And then we have
Bjorn. Can't at least I be saved?
Wow, I don't normally say this about kids, but this one particular one, Bjorn, saying like, can I at least be saved? You ain't even worried about the rest of your friends? If they're even your friends.
That makes 9, but just now, hoping to save his friends. Did you just say what I think you said, Bjorn?
Sorry.
A little warrior named Colin showed up to join the group, so that makes 10.
And then everyone hears that, including Ripley and Scupper Gavin. We finally see him.
What? Colin?
Did you hear that, Ripley? Our son's a hero.
Now's not the time for...
Oh wait, that wasn't even Anji who was saying all of that. That was Killingham. That was Anji just relaying all that.
First up, Ylva. Next, Skaldi. Olaf. Karin. Mag. Ronja. Bent. Johanna. Bjorn. That makes 9, but just now hoping to save his friends, a little warrior named Colin showed up to join the group. So that makes 10.
What? Colin?
Did you hear that, Ripley? Our son's a hero.
Now's not the time for...
And now, our commands. Heed them closely, Elbaf. Your school is completely useless in war. And your library is packed full of pointless records of the past. You will burn them down right now and swear fealty to us. If you do not, we will eliminate the brats one at a time.
And all the kids are going,
Help!
no, wait, I think this is still Somers.
And now, our commands. Heed them closely, Elbaf. Your school is completely useless in war. And your library is packed full of pointless records of the past. You will burn them down right now and swear fealty to us. If you do not, we will eliminate the brats one at a time.
Help! Help us!
And Ripley gets mad, and all the giants are going,
What are they talking about? We know where the kids are. Let's go save them. I want to smash these guys.
You have to make the call, Chief Jarl. Me?
and then Anji goes,
No, wait, please, it's too cruel. The school is a symbol of Elbaf's current state of peace, and this library is full of Elbaf's ancient history, as well as knowledge of the world, saved through the sacrifice of Ohara scholars. It's a fortune that belongs to more than just Elbaf.
Calm down, lady.
and then Robin starts moving. Robin starts moving as Chopper is telling her,
No, Robin, you can't.
and then all of a sudden, and then Ripley says,
Please, Mr. Ya.
You got it!
and both Robin and Scupper Gavin immediately start to take action as they both say,
I won't let them do this!
Oh no! Oh no! This explains why we're going on break! Robin and Scupper Gavin are about to throw hands! Ooh! Robin and Scupper Gavin are about to throw hands! See, you picked the absolute worst time to try, and that's the end of the chapter. And now we're going on break from One Piece. We're going on break. But look at Robin's eyes. Look at her eyes. That's something I wanted to bring up. Robin's eyes look the same way they do when she's using Demonio Fleur. Or at least that's how her Demonio Fleur's eyes looked. Robin, we haven't seen Robin go out all out fighting. Not. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. I was wondering why the sound went out on my phone, but it was because my Bluetooth started to connect to the car downstairs. My apologies. Yeah, Robin is upset. One, you have one of the only few survivors of Ohara, and she's face to face with so much unlimited knowledge from all of her fellow scholars and even her mother and Vegapunk within Elbaf. And now you got the Holy Knights who are trying to burn all of that down. See, they're trying. Oh my goodness, the stakes have gotten even higher. The stakes have gotten even higher. Now we're not only concerned about the kids, but we are also concerned about the library and the notes from Ohara. All of that information, all of that limitless information from Ohara, including about the Void Century and everything about it that Vegapunk learned, Robin will be able to learn as well. And now you mean to tell me that the Holy Knights have already made their demands. Burn down the library that has pointless records of the past. In other words, burn down the library that holds the truth about the world that the rest of the world doesn't need to know. We already know what is in this library. It's information about the world government that would literally flip the entire planet on its head towards the world government. All of it. That is condemning information against the world government and the history of the world that they don't. Because remember what Saturn said. Remember what Saturn said when he was destroying Egghead. The world doesn't need any more progress. Let's see, 1920 to 1930s, goodbye radio shows. 2025, welcome back radio shows. It's like read to them and stuff. That's basically what you're doing. Yeah, it's fun. I love it. Also, hello, Frud. I hope your day has been good. But yeah, this is basically what I do. It's great. I'm great to listen to when you're on the road, or if you're at work and you're trying to pass the time. I love my job. I really do. And yes, you're trying to destroy knowledge of the past. Catastrophic mistake. It really is. Because one, Robin has been wanting to get this information for such a long time. And also, it is proof that her friends and fellow scholars at Ohara did not die in vain. Did not die in vain. So you're threatening the very history of Ohara. Robin's home. The very place that sought to destroy not only her, but everyone and everything she's ever known and loved. Put a bounty on her at 8 years old, where she had to spend the entirety of her life until she got to the Straw Hat Crew, on the run, watching over her back, being concerned about the world government maybe one day finding her, being put in harm's way time and time and time again, and now you have the Holy Knights here trying to threaten that. Even after Saul told... And here's the thing. Robin is ready to throw hands with immortal people. That speaks volumes. I know they're immortal, but I'm not about to let you have your way anyway. You realize how brave you gotta be and just how upset you have to be to ignore the fact that your opponent is, in all intents and purposes, immortal and cannot die, but you still say, run them hands. Let's go. I didn't hear no bell. Say when, I'll be your huckleberry. You realize how upset you gotta be to say, like, that immortal person right there, I'm gonna fight them. But they can't die. I don't care. I'm about to fight them. Not only that, but, and I'm just talking about Robin. Now Scopper Gabbin is on his way.
You took my son? I'll take your life. I'll show you why they call me Mountain Eater. But I'm gonna be doing that to your face.
And now we got from the history of Scopper Gabbin, he was on par with Rayleigh, who was on par with Roger. You know, the 3 most powerful members of the Roger Pirates, as far as we know, because we don't know too much about the rest of them, as far as their strength goes. Now, we got Scopper Gabbin, the left hand of the Pirate King, on his way to get his son back. See, whoever he fights, Killingham or Somers, I really hope he fights Somers, because Somers revels in these kids being harmed. That's the reason why he surrounded these kids with thorns, so even if they were stopped, they'd still hurt each other, and that would still make the situation worse. If Scopper Gabbin fights Somers, I can't wait to see just how strong he is against Somers, because even when Scopper was testing himself against Luffy and Zoro, who have defeated insanely powerful individuals in their own right, he was chilling the whole time, grinning, smiling. He didn't even really need to get serious. Now you got a legendary member of the legendary Roger Pirates coming for you. Let me say that again. This is akin to Rayleigh coming after you. This is akin to Roger coming after you. And knowing what we know of Roger and Rayleigh is that if they want to get you, they're gonna get you. If they want to get you, they're gonna get you. You are not stopping, because the thing is, even in their old age, they're incredibly powerful individuals. Rayleigh himself was so threatening that even Blackbeard, after amassing a giant crew and a massive fleet, gaining the power of not only the Yami Yami no Mi, but the Gura Gura no Mi, the power to destroy everything and the power to reduce everything to nothingness. You got that person shaking in his boots saying, like, I'll take Kobe and I'm gonna leave because I don't feel like facing against you. Even though he didn't know that Rayleigh himself said that he wasn't strong enough to take down Blackbeard. Rayleigh just had that aura. Now you got a member of the Roger Pirates who readily fights, who can contend with giants by himself. And he's coming for you. Don't worry, I know that Rayleigh can't beat Blackbeard. I was just noting that Rayleigh's status was enough to intimidate Blackbeard. Blackbeard didn't know that Rayleigh couldn't actively beat him at that time. He was just that much intimidated by him. The smile being wiped off of Somers' face will be priceless. Oh, the smile being wiped off of any member of the Holy Knight's face will be amazing. But also, it's going to be quite interesting for if it's Scopper Gavin who fights Somers, great. If it's Robin who fights Somers, we'll have to see how that works, because I feel like Somers would be a bad matchup for Robin. But then again, Robin is closest to Somers because Somers is slowly moving away from the thorn pile he left Saul in. So if anyone is closest to taking on Somers, it would be Robin. But my thing is, with the way her devil fruit works, where any damage you incur onto her limbs, or even her, Gigante Fleur, or even Demonio, well, we haven't even seen damage come to her Demonio Fleur. We just seen her use the Jacuzzi Clutch on Black Maria back in Wano. But given how damage to her Demonio, her Gigante Fleur, it gets on her as well, I feel like Somers may be a bit of a bad matchup for Robin. That's just how I feel. We'll go over more about this chapter because this upcoming Wednesday will be the last day of May, and normally I take a rest day on Wednesdays, but since it's the last day of May, we'll go over these chapters that we got in May like I do all the time, and we'll talk more about it and where we think the story will go from here, since we're going on break, so we don't need to worry about people trying to put spoilers or anything out there. So we'll have plenty of time to talk about this as a whole. We also got to talk about how Gunko intended to make Brooke her slave, and Brooke dropped one of the sickest lines ever when he said, "No, I would rather die than live without honor. I would rather die than live without the honor of serving the person that gave me my second chance. It wasn't the devil fruit that gave me a second chance at life. It was the Straw Hat crew." And then she starts beating up on Brooke because he doesn't comply. I want to say, for Brooke, though, he didn't make a single joke. He didn't make a single joke about what Gunko was wearing at all. Normally, he would make jokes, but not in this instance. And Gunko saying, like, I want you to make songs for me forever, and you're going to be my slave. And Brooke is all like, huh? I'll pass. Let me see. I need Gunko fangirling over Brooke arc. Let's see. And we don't know if Robin will do anything. Will have anything, new powers. Will have any new powers. I don't know if she's going to have new powers, but her having Demonio Fleur, we don't know the fullest capabilities of it quite yet. I mean, she's able to make multiple arms grow to an even larger size than Black Maria and just straight up break a person in half. So we don't know just how far her powers can actually go. Wouldn't it be something if she actually awakened her own devil fruit power? Wouldn't that be something? What would her power be like if she awakened the Hana Hana no Mi? But I'm getting off track here. So basically, long story. Actually, you know what? We got to do this because I always read the chapter notes. I hope you guys don't mind. Allow my dulcet tones to serenade you this beautiful Sunday afternoon. But let me bring this up. I'm also glad that I got OBS working again the way it's supposed to be. So that way we can get back to streaming Oblivion. I still got to do that video for you guys later on because I progressed in the Mage's Quest line. But I got to splice it all together and then get it up to you guys. Get it out to you guys later today once I'm done doing everything One Piece and anime related. So let me bring up 1147. And then we'll go read through the long summary. I sense someone attempting to open my room door. Hello, sister. Hold on. Let me mute real quick so we can conversate. This is a family discussion. You're not included. All right. So, long summary. Before Saul confronted Somers, he told Robin and Chopper to stay hidden because he had encountered him in the past and knows he's one of the Holy Knights, and that they are all immortal, which is why he wanted them to wait for the right moment to rescue the children. In the present, after Saul has collapsed, Somers chides the Marines for their sloppiness in destroying Ohara. Gunko then meets up with Somers along with the Straw Hats that she has captured and restrained with her powers. She's using her powers to keep them restrained, and we've seen that Gunko's Devil Fruit power is I don't know why it's saying this. This weird. Yeah, the streaming is fine. I don't know why it's saying poor. It's perfectly all right. But her powers, we haven't seen anyone actually break through it quite yet, so that's where the Straw Hats are. They're bound up by her own powers. Let me see. Somers asks if they are taking them back as prisoners. But Killingham, who overheard, scolds Somers, saying that it will only invoke Luffy's wrath, and they should just finish their mission and leave. Mind you, Luffy and company are still down in the underworld with Loki. That includes Sanji, Zoro, and the rest of the new giant pirates. Let's see. Nami blames Jinbei for letting this happen as he tries to figure out a way to beat the Knights, while Brook ponders where he has seen Gunko before. Speaking of, Gunko points a sword made of her arrows at him and demands he becomes her slave and write music for her forever. Though everyone was surprised to learn that Gunko is a fan of Brook's, he refuses as he has already sworn loyalty to Luffy. Gunko threatens to kill him if he doesn't rescind it, but Brook proudly states he'll accept it, leading Gunko to beat him up. Though she seems to grip her heart for some reason. She was offended that her one favorite person who makes music won't comply with her demands. So it's like a literal arrow through her heart that the one person that she wants the most refuses to be with her, so she's kind of upset about that. I had a feeling that's what it was, literally tugging at her heartstrings, like, I'm offended that this person won't be with me. Let's see, Gunko threatens to kill him, though she seems to grip her heart for some reason. Though Somers tells Gunko he doesn't want to fight Luffy either, he asks Killingham if everything is set up, which he confirms. Somers addresses all of Elbaf and states that the strange occurrences happening is their work, and that he comes from Marijua as one of the gods' knights. He announces that they have taken 10 of their children as hostages, and Saul has been badly injured as he wakes them up from their sleep. Badly injured, sorry, I skipped a whole line there. Has been badly injured for trying to stop them. Killingham asks for the names of the children from Anji, as he wants their parents to know just as he wakes them up from their sleep. Once the children are awake, they figure they are on Branch 8, but are unable to stop walking or following the arrow. Colin, who was added to the bunch, informs everyone that they have all been kidnapped. All the children start crying, wanting their parents, but Colin says that he is here and he will protect everyone. But even he is scared by the MMAs, sleep tids and the viz, created by Killingham watching over them. The great Eric tries to turn around and rescue the children, but the ship has a hole from one of the MMAs, which looks like a woman, even resembling one of the giant's wives. The giants eventually realize that some of the MMAs actually do resemble their wives, and if these creatures are a children's worst nightmare, then it's possible they are afraid of their moms when they're angry. In other words, the MMAs attacking the ship are angry mothers, which not even the giant warrior pirates can fight back against. They all start apologizing for their mistakes in the past, but the island clouds supporting the ship are torn away by them, and the ship ultimately crashes, which Somers sees in the distance. Somers addresses Jarl as the boss of the giants since they have no king, and he informs him that they want the giants to become their slaves in battle, and that they are currently taking the children down Branch 8 as Anji announces the names of the kidnapped children, including Ylva and Olav, who is Oimo. Sorry, I thought it was Kashi, but it is Oimo, who is Oimo's grandson. Somers then reveals that one child, Colin, tried to be a hero only to be added to the bunch, to Ripley's horror. Somers' demands are that they destroy their schools and libraries and swear loyalty to them. But Anji retorts that their school represents Elbaf's current state of peace, while the library contains Elbaf's ancient history, as well as the knowledge of the world saved by the people of Ohara. And to them, they are both sacred treasures that doesn't just belong to Elbaf, but Somers just tells her to calm down. Gabin prepares to head out to rescue his son, while Robin decides to show herself, unwilling to let the Knights destroy her people's efforts. Ooh! I cannot wait to see what the next chapter is like. So, chapter notes. In a flashback, Saul revealed that the God's Knights are immortal. The captured Straw Hat pirates are revealed to have been tied up. Gunko reveals to Brooke that she is a fan of his Soul King music and demands to write songs for her as her slave, which Brooke refuses. Somers broadcasts using the stolen Dendenmushi system across Elbaf and reveals his identity and that they are responsible for the events with the children. One of the MMAs attacks the giant warrior pirates, disabling it. The names of the kidnapped children are broadcast. Ripley and Gabin learn that Colin is one of the hostages. Somers gives his demands to Jarl, which are to destroy the school and burn all the books in the library. Robin and Gabin prepare to mobilize to stop the God's Knights, the Holy Knights. And that is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we leave out on a break for. This is where we leave out on break. Robin and Gabin are prepared to fight these immortal beings if it means, one, saving Colin and saving the information that lies within the library of Elbaf. They are prepared to fight immortal people. They stand on principle. This was a very good chapter. I like that. Brooke really set the mood for this chapter with him saying, I would rather die than live without honor. This was such a good chapter. Let me go back through what some of you guys have said. Let me see. Let's see. The only problem is, I think, is that Gabin is like Rayleigh and Garp are past their prime, especially in the face of the new generation. Age really doesn't mean too much in this series. Let's be honest here, Frood. Because Garp, at like 70-something years old, went to Pirate Island and was bodying everybody. Dude literally punched a nuke shockwave into the middle of town. That's him old. Age ain't got nothing to do with it. Whitebeard was like 72 years old. Or was he 78? I think it was 72 or 78. He was in his 70s, bodying giants and everybody in the Marineford War, even while suffering heart attacks and strokes. This joker was still fighting. Age ain't got nothing to do with it. If you old in One Piece and you're weak in One Piece, it's because you let yourself get that way. But if you old in One Piece and you strong, you tend to stay that way for a hot minute. Brooke, you know, lady, I don't even want to see your panties, but I already see them. Yo-ho-ho! Especially since I don't have eyes. Yo-ho-ho-ho-ho! Skull joke! I said it last week. I think Brooke was in the band playing music for them back then and happened to know Gunko and them. Whitebeard was 72. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, now we got two individuals who are going to be gunning to save the kids and to save the information on Ohada. So, really, it's not just Somers we need to concern ourselves with. It's also Killingham, who's also directly at the school. So, if we're not careful, he could try and set fire to the library or set fire to the school immediately. But the fact that they're asking the Giants to do it is because they probably don't want to get their hands dirty. Lazy God Knights, lazy holy knights. But all this is happening up top. We got to deal with what's happening in the underworld. And if Loki shows up, will he help? Will he be a hindrance? There's a lot of variables that's going to be coming into play when things start to really pick up speed. And mind you, there's a lot going on right now, but when it starts to pick up speed, hold on, is this saying that the bit rate is low? That's odd. Do I need to set it higher then? Do I need to set the bit rate higher? Fine. I'll set it higher. If the YouTube is telling me to set it higher, then I'll set it higher. I got no problem doing that whatsoever. But it's you spoke on it. I think this is where Luffy and Loki's gonna jump in. You spoke on it. It's gonna get chaotic. Yeah, it's about to get chaotic. It was already chaotic when the fire set out and they were trying to put the fire out. Now it looks fine to me. Yeah, I think so too. I feel like the OBS still needs to get used to everything. Needs to get used to the settings that I have, but we'll work on it as we go, and I'll optimize as necessary in order to ensure that the quality is met with your standards, and also mine, but mainly you, because you're the ones watching it. I'm just on the other side of the camera doing all the extra. But this was a very good chapter, and a good one to be on break, because now everyone has in their minds, oh, Scopper Gavin and Robin are about to fight. They're about to fight these immortal people. That's something worth looking. That's a worthy cliffhanger. That's something to look forward to. So yeah, should be interesting. Let's see. Place your bets, peoples. Is Johanna Loki's daughter since the horns? You don't see any other giant children that actually have ancient giant blood horns. Johanna is the only one with horns. Now, if this page was colored in, and we could see her hair, and her hair was the same color as Loki's, that could offer some insight to that. It could offer some insight to that, but let's just wait and see. Overall, good chapter. We'll keep it in mind. We'll discuss more One Piece when we get to our One Piece reflections on Wednesday. So I hope to see you all there so we can talk all things One Piece as a whole. But yeah, overall, this was a very good chapter, and I enjoyed it so very much. Time to move on to Sakamoto Days, because I believe we have a chapter today. Let me double check on that real quick. We'll move on to Sakamoto, then I'll move on to reacting to the newest episode of, yeah, there's a new chapter. Oh, I get a break. Is she the one who said, at least you have parents? Yes, that's the one that Johanna said, at least you have parents. Maybe her hair is from her mother's side. Let's not jump to conclusions just because we see a child that has ancient giant blood and she has horns. Because that's the same deal with people saying like, oh, maybe Gunko has a relationship to Koala, or is maybe close to Koala, or has some affiliation with Koala, or knows Koala simply because she has a newsboy's cap with goggles on top, just like Koala. Too much, it's a coincidence. Let's just wait and see how things go first, before we start jumping to conclusions. But yeah, overall, good chapter. Time to move on to Sakamoto Days, and it appears that is it Golden Week next week? Is it Golden Week? Because both One Piece and Sakamoto Days is going on break next week. So until reflections and in 2 weeks, and check out GGG close piece people. Yeah. Thank you, Ozzy. Thank you for being a wonderful moderator, and thank you for being a member. All of you all should consider becoming members as well, because it also helps bring what you want to see to the channel. Just consider it. Yes, I'm plugging my membership. I'm plugging it. I ought to do that every now and again, just to remind you guys that it's there. For as little as $1 a month, you too can get access to all sorts of different things. Golden Week is in May, and May is next week. So I'm pretty sure that might be the reason why we're going on break. But yeah, in all seriousness, good chapter. Looking forward to the next time I read and do something for all of you, which will be directly after this. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you, and because I know you're coming back anyway. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples! On to Sakamoto Days! Plug away, you say? Oh, I will! Become a member! That's me plugging. It needs work.